Welcome to the 13 comics of Halloween.
Hey everybody, welcome to the 13 comics of Halloween specials we're doing. And today we are moving forward with that. We're like in the middle now. I think we're at number 5. And that one would be Afterlife with Archie, number 1. And had you ever read Archie before, John?
Like my mom was a fan of Archie, so she had shown me some older Archie comics. Archie, Shmoo, and I forget the army
Little
character.
Annie.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
Some very old comics, which are they don't really nothing
happens.
in them.
It's not
So,
interesting. I have no idea why people
But
read them.
when we were looking at Halloween comics, I saw this and I was like, an Archie comic is highly rated. I was like, well, we'll see. I was like, oh, it's newer. Okay.
We'll try it. Yeah. So this is from 2013. And this is kind of when they went darker. I'm assuming it's when they got their CW show ideas later. Cause I don't think that had started yet, but I think Sabrina, the Teenage Witch, and Archie and Riverdale or whatever it's called, those ones will kind of tie in to this feel more than classic Archie. So, and I don't know if this was it says all new chilling tales. I don't know if this is a Halloween special. It says it's from December. So I don't know if this was just hey, we're doing a more teen and mature audience than normal, and that we're rebooting it or something. But either way, this one was fun, I thought. And it starts off pretty creepy. There's fucking blood writing and stuff on the first page, and it's this is how the end of the world begins. And you're like, wow, this is an Archie comic.
Right. Not what I expected.
And it starts off super sad too. We see someone's running and they're banging on the door of someone's house, this younger girl, and we see it's Sabrina, the Teenage Witch's house. Yeah, and we all love Sabrina. I don't know if everybody watched it when they were a kid, but I actually didn't like it when I was a kid. But I know of it.
I did. I've liked all in Canard. I've read I have seen some old Sabrina comics. I read those and they were cute, whatever. And then obviously the 90s, Melissa Joan Hart Sabrina.
Yeah.
Because Salem was hysterical. I still remember Salem being funny. And
I was just hey, that took over the funny stuff of TGIF, so I didn't like that.
Yeah, basically. And then I actually, we started the new, just on a side, the new Sabrina series with my wife, and I was I don't know, I don't care for most of those teenage dramas, but Sabrina had some cool little twists. I was okay, it got me into it.
I tried to watch it, I could not. So
I liked it.
But the comic version I liked. It's smaller, more digestible.
Yeah.
But she opens the door, and she's like, "Oh my God, Jughead, what's wrong?" And then Jughead's just standing there with a stupid crown on his head, and that's how you know it's Jughead, of course. And then he's got his dog, Hot Dog, in his hands, and Hot Dog has been hit by a car. And he looks fucked up. He's like, "I need your help." And he's like, "Can't you do some magic and shit?" And so she takes him in to see if her aunts can help him with the dog. But the dog was already dead when he brought it there.
Hilda and Zelda are like, if it was alive still, maybe we could, heal it, but it's dead.
Yeah. And then he's like, "Well, can't you do your witches, right? Can't you do some kind of necromancy or whatever and bring it back from the dead?" And they're like, "How dare you? How dare you bring up our cursed arts? Get out of this house," or whatever. And so they do that. They kick him out basically. And then she just go bury him or whatever.
Yeah, she does cool because he puts the last little she's like, "I'm sorry we couldn't do anything, Sabrina," and Jughead's like, "You don't, it's fine. You don't fully understand. I love Hot Dog as much as you love Salem." And then she's like,
yeah, so then she's like, "Okay, I'm going to help him." So what she does is she goes to this, wherever they keep the hidden dark books. I don't know if it's a black library or whatever. And she gets the Necronomicon. And it actually says Necronomicon on it. So I was like, oh, some Evil Dead shit right there.
Yeah.
And she goes back to his house, or goes to his house. And it's cool. She's hovering there. So she's all witched out and everything, which is interesting. And she flies him and Hot Dog, and she's like, "Bring a shovel," and they're like, "Let's go to the river bank, and you bury him here, and you have to dig the hole and all this shit." They do this whole ritual, and she's like, "You should come back by tomorrow or whatever. So just go home and wait." And so
I like that paneling. It was really cool because it was it's like just kind of dark and dreary, and he's digging the hole, and then she starts reading, and like boom, like lightning cracks, and it just starts downpouring. Like,
Yeah.
okay, like this is
it's like the
something's
magics.
happening.
It's
Yeah.
the magics for sure. Then she goes home, and then her aunts are like, "How dare you?" And this was interesting to me. I thought they like turned into like creepy old looking witches, like almost mummified.
Yeah,
and they like attack her.
That was a really fun panel. Yeah.
They're like, "How dare you break our covenants? Like you disobeyed the rules, and like punishment must be swift." And I guess they like put her. They say like they basically put her in timeout for a year or something like that.
Yeah, they basically make her mouth disappear. Like it's cool. It looks all smoothed over. And
It's like the Matrix or whatever.
Yeah,
they make Neo's mouth disappear.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
and they're like, well, but it was funny too because they were like, "You must be punished." Oh, but it's only a year. It'll go by fast.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So then, and this I thought was cool. They have like this little timer panel coming up, and on the next page, and it says, like, and the next morning at Riverdale High, and it says less than 12 hours to first contagion. So you're like, oh, like this is like a zombie story now. Like apparently the dog is gonna like spread a zombie virus or something. We don't know, but I don't know. I've never read Archie, so I assume they weren't this explicit. But it was this like little high school scene where Betty and Veronica are trying to figure out which sexy costumes they're gonna wear around.
I'm gonna wear this sexy
Archie.
costume. Well, that's a slut costume. I'm gonna wear this one.
Yeah, I was like, do they like? I don't think they ever really do that in the old ones, right?
No.
Okay.
I mean, like they're definitely some fighting.
Right,
over
they fight,
Archie,
but they're like,
they're
I was gonna go to the soda hop with him.
Yeah.
Or whatever, right. It's not like I was gonna wear the sexy nurse
No.
costume.
And here's where like so just on the like Sabrina was fun. My wife tried to get me to watch Riverdale, and that's all Riverdale is.
Oh, okay.
And there's some singing too, and I was like, no,
I'm all good.
I'm gonna I don't care too much for the high school drama part of it.
I don't need singing.
I'm done with that.
Then like we cut to like gym class, and it's like 10 hours to contagion, and there's a guy named Reggie who's apparently, I don't know, a jock or something, and he's like crying on the benches, and some guy's like, "Are you okay, Reggie? Like, what's going on?" And he's like, "I just had a super rough night," and it cuts to the like him cleaning off the dog's blood on his car. I don't know enough about Archie to know if Reggie is friends with Jughead.
Yeah, he's friends with Jughead, but he's like Archie is like the main connective tissue. So
Right.
Archie is and Reggie are friends, and Archie and Jughead are friends, so they're like acquaintance friends.
Okay, so but he knows Hot Dog.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so he just basically said like, I had a crazy night, and this something happened, and I ran into this dog. Or he didn't say
He didn't
what
say
happened.
that. He just is like,
But
yeah.
we're saying that he ran into the dog, and he's like freaking out over that. So then, like basically everybody in the school is trying to figure out like, what are you gonna wear to like the costume ball or whatever.
There's one little thing that was funny to me that I wanted to call out when they're all trying to figure it out, and like it's like it shows like at the lunch cafeteria, and they're all still talking, and Reggie's still sad or whatnot. But there's these two kids that are like arguing over who is better, Freddy Krueger or Michael Myers, and it's like doesn't really have anything to do with the plot, but they make it a point because they're talking about it there, and then later when we see them at the dance, they're also there talking about that at the dance in respect.
They're big old
costumes.
nerds. It's basically me, except I don't know who these two losers are, Freddy Krueger and Michael Myers. It's all about Jason. Man.
Yeah.
I'm a Jason fan. All right, so yeah, these guys were fighting, and Jughead didn't go to school today, so he's actually been waiting around for his dog, Hot Dog, to show up, who hasn't shown up yet, and like she's, his mom's like, "Honey, are you okay? You didn't do anything." He's like, "No, I'm fine. I'm just trying to look for Hot Dog. Thanks for letting me stay home from school to do that."
I'm sure he just ran away.
Yeah, I'm sure he's fine. He'll come back. He always comes back, and then it says later that night. And we see he does always come back.
Oh, yeah.
And he's waiting. He's like, "Hot Dog boy, is that you? It's me, Jughead." And then, like, you see Hot Dog's like,
Cujo.
He looks like an Evil Dead dog or something.
Yeah.
Like the, they have, like, the mounted heads on the wall in the Evil Dead with the white eyes and shit. It's just like that.
That's exactly what it
I was
like,
holy fuck. And then he gets bit by the dog, by Hot Dog. And that's where it says, like, 8 hours after first contagion on the next page. So we're like, oh shit. Like he just got contaminated. We don't know what's going on.
Something's going on.
I thought this was funny. The dog is still alive. He didn't do anything, and the dog hasn't done anything other than just be under the porch. So it's kind of like Pet Cemetery-ish, where like things are still alive, but they're not quite attacking people all the time.
Yeah.
Just sometimes. But then now he's sick at home, and like his friend comes and he's like, "Hey, are you okay, Jughead?" He's like, "Yeah, I just feel a little under the weather." Like, and then it actually shows like what his arm looks like.
Oh my god!
And it's all like fucking like pussy and bloody and.
This is the only
infected.
part that I thought was weird. So, because like, so he's like, "Oh, I'll be okay though," and Archie's like, "Well, if you're not gonna go to the dance, I don't have to go too. I can blow off the girls; they'll be pissed or whatever. But
Yeah.
like, I'll stay
Bros
here with
before
you,
hoes.
bros." Yeah, and it seemed like he was like, "Yeah, man, like friends to the end kind of a thing."
And then he doesn't.
And then the next page
And then
is
Archie's like, "Well,
going to the dance."
Anyway, Veronica was going to wear that sexy what is it?
Sexy something.
Vampironica.
I guess she's a Vampironica.
She's Vampirella, but Vampironica, which I was like, wow, they would definitely not allow that costume at a school dance. I don't know if you've seen Vampirella, John.
Yes. That's one piece piece of fabric.
Yeah, and it wraps around all her places snugly.
Yes.
Right? And strategically, and she must use some type of tape to keep it on while she fights evil people. Yeah. Anyway, then we cut back to the gym. It's the next night, I think, right?
Yeah. It's the Halloween dance.
Yeah, it's a Halloween dance, and everybody's dancing and they're freaking out, and they're like, yeah, and then like that's where we see like Vampironica. She comes in her costume, and then Betty had her stupid sexy nurse outfit on. So old school, but they argue about it and call each other whatever names, I guess, fighting over Archie. And then we see like two teachers outside, and they're like, "Remember the old days?" And it looks like they cut back to the old days, and it looks like he's being like super sexually harassing. Like he's like, "Ooh, we're in a cemetery," and she's like, Stop it, you jerk," or whatever. It's like, ooh.
Yeah, I was wondering. It was kind of like, oh man, are you gonna ooh, I'm gonna get you, or ooh, are you gonna be close to me or something?
Something weird. But anyway, she was even like, all right, like, yeah, you remember it differently than I do. And then like they're like, hey, there's Jughead, and he's got like this very like creepy silhouette in the moonlight walking towards them, and then Jughead just pounces on this coach or whoever, like the
man teacher.
Yeah, they're just the what are they called? Not chauffeurs. Not chauffeurs. Is that?
Yeah. You have a chaperone.
Chaperone. That's what I'm like. It's a chef. It's one of those words. Anyway, yeah, he's one of the chaperones, and so like he gets attacked. Then like everybody's like, oh man, Reggie's still down about something, and then he's like, I'm fine, it'll be okay.
That was kind of funny because Reggie's at the dance, and they're like, Reggie, why are you just wearing your thing? Where's your costume? And he's like, oh, I'm so sad. They're like, yeah, but this is your favorite holiday. Like, why are you not wearing a costume?
Right.
Now we know something's up.
And then he's seeing, like, what happened? It's like, why did he hit the dog? And it was basically he was just mad because he got in a fight with some dude named Moose who, like, was mad at him for talking to a girl or whatever. So he was so heated, and it was so rainy. And that dog.
Yeah, that dog. He came up around the corner or up the hill or whatever, and there was
the dog was right there. And then we get like the reveal as
they're like, oh look, guys, Jughead's here, and look at his costume. Yeah, it's so great.
It looks amazing. And then it's like 10:15 Riverdale, full containment imminent, and then or full contamination imminent. And then we see like Jughead, who looks all fucked up. He's completely mutated now into a zombie, and he's about to fuck all these kids up. And then it's just to be continued. So, what do you think of that issue? Like, as a first issue to a run?
I thought it was really fun. It was much better than I anticipated,
especially for Archie.
Yeah,
I really wanted to continue it. I'm like, okay, I know enough about these characters that I can follow what's going on. I don't have to know like all the years of backstory or anything, so it's real easy. And it's just like a high school drama. So but like easy to fit in, you can just go, I remember what high school was like, like just like that. Mine was just like that. I don't know about you, John, but zombies and
yeah, zombies.
Women
witches.
Always wanting to dress in skimpy clothes around me.
Yeah, and fighting over you.
Yeah, all the time.
Let me tell you, I had the exact same high school.
Yeah, I'm glad we shared.
That's why we have a podcast about comic books.
Yes, because all comic book nerds have ladies fighting over what sexy items they will wear in front of you.
Definitely.
But or men, or whatever floats your boat. But on that note, would you give this one, John?
I would, like I said, it was way better than I anticipated. It was fun. I was like, I kind of want to know what happens.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give it a 7.
Oh, cool! Wow, I'm gonna give it a 6. It was like perfectly readable and fun. It's still Archie. Still like I don't care about any of these characters really, but they did get you in the feels with Jughead's. I mean, is Jughead? No. Yeah, Jughead's dog. Jughead's dog getting hit. Like, anybody who's got a dog, you're like, oh, dog.
Yeah.
So they definitely knew how to like kick it off, making you like feel for the
the very beginning, especially like with like, hey Sabrina, and then like, oh, you couldn't fix him. Well, are you sure you can't bring him back from the dead? Like, that little egg on, that was really fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was good. On that note, I guess we'll see ya
on the next spooky one.